Soon the flight landed in Busan and Taehyung went out of the airport. After collecting his luggage, he hired a taxi and headed toward the hotel, which is near main branch. He typed a message to Wyan telling her that he is landed safely and now on the way to hotel. As he pressed the send button to his smile, thinking of the last time when he didn't message Wyan and how fancy she got worrying about him. Following their cute little fight, he sent the beep and he was surprised to see Wyan replying, asking him to take care. He quickly took. At the time it was around 1 a.m. She's still awake, didn't he? Asked her to sleep, thought he, and dialed her number. One smile as she saw his name flashing on her cell. She knew he would call her as soon as he see her message. Hello, she said in a sleepy voice. Why are you awake? Didn't I tell you to sleep? He asked. What? He said and then realized her sleepy tone. You are in a sleep, ain't you? Not yet. I am awake, she said. Her tone was totally against her answer. Why sleep now? He said in a softer tone. I will when you reach hotel, she replied in sleepy voice. He shook his head and felt his heart swell with the love and wine is awake for him to reach the hotel in the safe confine of the room. Only then she feels safe. He didn't say anything but didn't hang the phone either. He was still listening to her breathe. Wine didn't say anything and listened to his light breath. Some 10 minutes passed like this. Wine, he said her name is a whisper to check if she had gone to sleep or not. I am awake, she came. Sleepy voice. He signed and tapped his foot impatiently. He wanted to reach hotel quickly, not for him that he is tired or wanted to rest. He wanted to reach quickly for her because he only then she will go to sleep. That's not happening for the first time. After another 10 minutes, he said, Wine, go to sleep, please. Have you reached? Came her question. Nope, I will take some more 15 minutes, he replied. I am awake. She replied, knew then it's fair to argue with her on this topic. Finally, after some 15 minutes, he reached the hotel. When I am hotel now, I said, I am at. Are you in your room? She asked. He signed again. No, just toward lift now. He took the key from receptionist who clearly know him as whenever he visits Busan, he will stay at this hotel every time he went to elevator, hold his cell in one hand, press again in ear, other hand holding the suitcase as laptop bag or shoulder. Dingwine heard the sound of elevator and waited for him to reach his room. Only then her heart will be erased. He came out of elevator and went to his room. He slid the key card and entered. Yeah, why and I am in room now. Happy now, he said as he locked the door and moved ahead inside the room. Yes, very good night, she said with a smile and hung up the phone and looked at the wallpaper of the cell, looking at his handsome face pressed to the side of her head, and memories started to play in her mind of the time when it was taken. Ting placed his laptop bag on the sofa, took off his shoes. He was already in casual, so he directly went to the bed. One side lamp was sparkling, spreading soft yellow glow in room. He is now habitual of the soft light in the room while sleeping continually. See why and most husband would get irritated with this much care or attention sometimes. But he feels happy every time that he has someone in his life who cares so much about him. He can really close his eyes, letting his mind play the memory of the day when he got his wine. Taehyung woke up with the harsh sunlight falling on his face. He rubbed his face and picked up the cell to see the time. It was around 8. He missed his jog timing. Well, Ryan was not here to put the alarm as she do it every day. He went to fresh up and then order breakfast. He picked his cell and was surprised to find Ryan good morning message nor any missed call from her. She didn't call him. He shook his head, dismissing himself that he is thinking too much into this. He called up Shin Shua assistant and asked him to fix lunch meeting with the client, although it was Sunday. But Kim do have a big name. Also, he didn't want to waste any and get over with the thing soon. He wanted to get back to his wife as soon as possible. After breakfast, he went over some file and started to work on laptop. Mr. John saw his darling daughter sitting on the living room sofa with a tray in her lap, peeling peas with a staring into space. She was quiet since the time she came here yesterday, and quiet she means that something is troubling her. He haven't heard the name from her mouth, nor he complains, which she usually does when she stay here. Since she was just 7 years old when her mother died after giving birth to Jungkook, she had complication in pregnancy, but she wanted to have a son, so she went all the way the pregnancy. At this age, Ryan didn't know much about life or taking care of the baby, but she would help his father in everything and learn things from her aunt. As time passed, she had become a mother figure of Jungkook. She take care of everything, his food, his study, the household work, etc. She would hide the sadness and grief behind her smile. She always cared for others and wanted to see them happy, even if this means she has to sacrifice her happiness. She bottled up her emotion inside and has to cope up into sparkling them out, and he knew if he asked her, she would just smile and change the subject. One sit beside her and took the tray away from her lap. Was that matter, baby? I am seeing you from yesterday. You are mostly quiet. I haven't seen you talking to Taehyung like you usually do, or nor you rant about him with us. Did something happen between you two? Mr. John asked as he pat her head. No, Dad, there is nothing. I was just thinking how to make peace in a different style, and don't worry, your Taehyung didn't do anything, she said, giving her father a smile and took the tray from his hand. I know you don't want to tell me, so I won't insist either, but I just wanted you to say if it's related to him, talk to him. Communication is the biggest key in a relationship. Husband wife has problems. Even your mother and I had our difference. We would fight, but then we patch up to remember one thing. Think twice before you come to any decision. Don't think only for your point of view. Think about from his perspective as well. Okay, he said, and why nodded her head. And by the way, shouldn't you be with Yunhee today? Today's her court hearing. He said, I know that, but she has her mother, brother, and everyone with her. What would I do there? She said. Wine, that is your family too, and you shouldn't be here. There in this time, Yuni will feel good. Taehyung is not here. She need a friend support too. He said as she stood up. I think you should go, and left from there, leaving Ryan in her thought. Uni court hearing was at 1 p.m. soon. Today was Sunday and court closed, but Mr. Kim had used his name and made the hearing on Sunday so that there will be media around so other people get hang what's going on. He wanted to keep matter highly private. Mr. Kim, Mrs. Min and Suga came along with Yunhee, so I stay at home as Yunhee had gone out of usual not taking interest in family matter and Jimin was at the office and someone has to be there in the absence of Taehyung and Mr. Kim. Wine reached there around 1:20 p.m. and found Mrs. Kim and Mrs. Min standing outside the courtroom. As Mrs. Min doesn't want to see Seonjun face, she greeted both. They just nodded their head and at her. Wine stood side waiting for Yunhee and come outside. After a few minutes of silence, Mrs. Min spoke. What have you thought now? Yunhee, divorce is fine. I think you should make your decision too. She pressed her lips, feeling irritated at this, but being respectful of elders, she didn't back answer but replied calmly. Have you two talked to Tae about it? Mrs. Kim looked at Mrs. Min and then back to Wyan. You don't have to worry about it. I will ask him when he gets back. Then I will decide it after hearing his decision about the matter. Wyan replied. Mrs. Kim was about to resort when the door opened and Yunhee came out. Wyan, you came here, she extended her phone. Taehyung wants to talk, she said, and Wyan took the call. Hello Tae, she said. Wyan, where the hell are you? Damn it, I have been calling you since an hour and you are not picking up. Then I called uncle and he told me that you had left for good. He said it at a tone. Sorry, I had my cell on charging, forget and take it along with me, she replied, realizing that she needed to forget her phone at home. Wyan, he sighed, please don't do it next time. I was worried when you didn't pick up my call. I am sorry that it won't happen again, she said. Good, you are alright, he asked. Yes, I am fine. Did you have lunch, she asked. Yes, I did. I got free from meeting some time ago and I have to go now. Can you give phone back to Yunhee? He said and Wyan handed phone to Yunhee, moved backside. Yes, Taehyung, she said. Sorry Yunhee, I have to call you at this time but I wanted to make sure that Wyan is fine, she said. It's okay Taehyung, I understand, she said. How was the hearing going? He asked. Well, what you accept the divorce is filed. Judge had given us month time to recall and we don't in that time then the divorce will be granted for both. She said in a sad tone. I am sorry Yunhee, I wish I could be there with you, he was saying when Yunhee cut in. It's okay that don't be sorry, I was ready for this even if you are not here. Then when your better half is here, she said. Make sure Yunhee that she reach home safe, please said. Yes Taehyung, don't worry, I will drop her myself, okay, she said. Thanks buddy, but I will be back tomorrow night, don't tell Wyan, okay, he said. Wanted to give her surprise, she said. You can say that. Okay, take care then, he said and hugged up the phone. See, Taehyung called her because he still cared for her very much, she said, and after a few seconds when Yunhee moved to side. Wyan didn't say anything just then. Mr. Kim came out and greeted Wyan by patting her head. Yunhee came to them and finishing her call and they went from there. Mr. Kim took Mrs. Min and with him and Suga took Yunhee and Wyan with him. Wyan messaged Taehyung after reaching her room. Next day when Taehyung went to their Busan office, he called Shin and asked for the schedule. He had meeting today, then a tower construction site, and another meeting tomorrow. He asked Shin to prepare tomorrow meeting to today. Shin said that it will be take more time. Taeyong still insisted to have all the meeting today. He wanted to go back home. He missed Mayan too last night. He also knew that something was not right with her when he talked to her before sleep. He had enough of the time. She had all the space of thinking, decided to tell him, but she didn't. That was troubling him very much. As what the matter is that Wayne is not telling him he had booked the ticket for tonight. He will straight go to her and ask her the matter. After evening tea, Yunhee went to her room and started to arrange the clothes. She had gone to Sejun home yesterday, and after dropping Wine home to take back all things, she can see Anne still have giving her victory smile. Her mother-in-law didn't bother her, and Sejun was just standing in the room laughing, keeping watch on her so that she can't take what's not her, and that have hurt her so much. While arranging the clothes, she saw a yellow pink dress which Shujin has gifted her on her birthday. She couldn't help but the tear falling from her eyes. Mrs. Min came in the room and found her daughter clutching the dress and tear falling down her cheek. It's enough, Yuni. How long you are going to cry for that man? I have told you way before that he's not worthy of you, and now you what he had made you into. Mrs. Min said as she came near Yuni. I know, Mom, but it's not easy for me. I forget everything just like that, she said as she wiped her tear. I know, but maybe Taeyong can help, dear, she said. Taeyong has already done enough for Mom. I can't expect him to be around me all the time, she said. Why not? Have you not seen how he has been taking care of you? She said, and Yuni looked at her mother confused. He still loves you, she said, and Yuni got surprised to hear this. No, Mom, he doesn't. He loved Moyan, and she loved him too, she said with a smile. Oh, my dear, you are so innocent. He doesn't love her. He loves only. And why know it too, she said. Mom, what are you saying? You are thinking wrong, she said and getting more confused. No, dear, you are thinking wrong. Lela agree with me too, and Taeyong still love you and not Moyan. He just take her as his responsibility only. She understand it too, and that's why she had agreed for divorce, she said. What divorce? She was shocked. Mrs. Min told her about their conversation with Wine. Mom, what's wrong with you two? How can you both think like that? She said out loud as she backed away from her mother. Taeyong loves Wine a lot. I have seen it. Everyone know it. The shock of the news made her forget her own pain. No, why? No, Yoon, it's not love. They have not even consummate their marriage, she said. And how would you know? She said, shocked again at her mother was saying. Well, we can tell when Lala asked her indirectly. One had no answer, she said. Mom, it's their personal matter. Leave it them and just keep the thing out of your head that this is not going to happen. Have you even thought what would Taeyong think when he get to know about this? Hell, I don't even think about him that way, nor does he, she said, not getting angry. Then you should start thinking about it. Wine has already agreed for divorce, and we will talk to him when he get back. Saying that Mrs. Min left the room. Yuni sit on the bed, still shocked. What her mother said. How can they think like that? Can't see how much they loved Wine each other. She had not even been around. She can tell with the look on their face, especially Taeyong, the way he looked at Wine, clearly tell house Mickey by his wife. How can they ignore this? And why and how can she agree to this? Didn't she love Taehyung? She thought. She has have to talk about why and how can she do this with Taehyung. She stood up in anger and was about to move out of the room when she stopped thinking. That's why not tell her anything about it. Their personal matter. She shouldn't interfere it, but still not sit there doing nothing.